Hey traders from around the world, welcome to your Friday real life stock review. I trust you had a marvelous, magnificent, and most splendid Friday. A lot of greatness happening out there in the market, and the SPY had a pretty decent gap overall today. So this was a nice gap. It was actually an inside day candle gapping up on the SPY, and of course we had a really nice retest and a beautiful bounce. Look at this candle down here. Man, almost 1 penny away from a tweezer bottom, bullish engulfing pattern, nice little morning star right here. Most traders did try to get in bullish right here, which I actually did like that entry, like entry here, stop there. I like that try. It's really, really beautiful try, but just it didn't work. And realistically, it's totally okay because once it did this, come back up here to make this pattern and trade sideways and retest here. I mean, depending on where you're getting in, but there's a few opportunities to get back in and get that R back on the SPY. So overall, really nice move in the markets today. Here's the Qs, and the Qs also had that beautiful retest gap, right? White candle gapping up, so good retest on the Qs. I did have a few stocks that I want to review today, and what I'm going to do is, as we review these stocks, just talk about what happened and why they happened, all that kind of good stuff. CLVS was requested, and this particular chart did have a really good breakout on earnings back in late February. So beautiful closes above some resistance. That resistance at about $26.06. Here's your long-term moving averages, and we just slammed right into the 200 simple on a daily chart. Here's the weekly, and the weekly also had some really good volume coming in on CLVS. Now, keep in mind this is going to be a very volatile, very fast-moving stock, so just something to think about. But as this thing is running into the 200 simple, my overall plan is to let this thing trade sideways a little bit, pull back, and then break out. And of course, if it doesn't pull back far enough and it trades sideways and then breaks out, that's also totally adequate. Just keep your eyes on this one because I do think it has the propensity to continue higher. HPQ had a massive gap down yesterday, which was Thursday, a very profitable day for most real-life traders. And the reason I'm bringing up Hewlett-Packard is because I think at some point this either turns into a head and shoulders pattern, which is unlikely, or we actually bounce bullish, which is more likely. So this is your support level right here, and I'm keeping a really close eye on that support to just barely break next week and then a bounce. So the low of this candle is 1931, low of this candle is 1922, and low of this week is 1934. So on HPQ, it actually makes a decent amount of sense to see something like this and then a bounce higher to fill this gap, because that is a massive, massive gap down on a dividend-paying blue chip stock. So most likely Hewlett-Packard will be fading before too long. So it's going to be an aggressive play for sure. We got to pop into like some 15-minute charts and some hourly charts and really just find a decent gap or something that happens where some people are trapped. For example, if Hewlett-Packard was gapping up on Monday above 1976, that would be a really good gap. So feel free to keep your eyes on that one to just slowly get a little bit of a retest. Qualcomm, ticker symbol QCOM. Qualcomm, having a lot of people requesting this one, and I had a trader, his name is Mahmood, who was in this trade with Qualcomm with, I believe, some call options. And this was kind of a cute little gap today on Qualcomm, just kind of right above some of this resistance. Very nice retest gap, and if you pull into the 5-minute chart, pretty decent retest overall as well on Qualcomm. But otherwise, the reason I'm pulling this one up, I don't have any positions personally in Qualcomm and don't really plan on it, but from a monthly chart, this isn't a buy low, sell high, long-term, very blue chip type of approach on ticker symbol QCON. In fact, keep in mind, we do have brand new monthly candles this month on Qualcomm. So yeah, I mean, if you're buying down here, makes sense to me. Buy low, sell high would be a longer term, decently boring potential trade, but not too bad. Speaking of a decently boring but very possibly massively profitable trade, Callaway Golf, my friends. I'm loving this one right now. They had an amazing move. In fact, if you were at my August retreat, not retreat, but I did like a golf outing in Dallas, Texas back in, I believe, 2017. Was it 2017? September 2016. It was right here. Callaway Golf was around $11 a share, and I was talking about investing in that one because they owned part of Top Golf, and golf was becoming, much more of a sport. Tiger Woods was starting to come back, make a little bit of a comeback at that particular point in time. So anyway, this is a dividend-paying stock that had a really nice retracement, and check this out: weekly double bottom. Does that perk your interest? It should. If you play golf, really consider having a position in Callaway Golf. Here's ticker symbol SQ, and Square was the talk of the town yesterday. Absolutely beautiful bullish opportunity, and I missed this one today. I missed it by seconds and by pennies. Let me scroll up here and kind of show you the posting. Had a few posts. That was last night. So let me go into this morning. Just so much greatness happening here. So this was right as the market was opening, and here's Square, 8:31 a.m. I tried to get it with a breakdown below the low of the pre-market, but I was in a coaching session. It wasn't quite fast enough. Had a limit sell open, and it just did not come back. So Square, realistically, having a beautiful, beautiful pre-market break. You can pretty much clearly see that pre-market support right here. And again, just right before market open, really small base, some bullish candles, some nice lower shadows, and then she flushed. But yesterday was a monster bullish day for Square, and so many traders made so much money on Square yesterday. It was incredible. But here's what I think Square is going to do now. This isn't obviously guaranteed. This is just what I'm keeping an eye out for. But Square really reminded me of a particular stock where it had a decently strong gap down, opened right around near the 20, and then just bounced and had a strong, strong bounce. And then the next day had a bearish candle that kind of traded down. That would be Shopify. And Shopify, you can see a pretty similar candle, right? Gapped down on earnings, no less. Huge bullish candle, and then a little bit a bearish candle that sold off for most of the day and then kind of stopped right around the 10. So bottom line, if Square gaps down on Monday, which it could, I'm actually just going to be keeping an eye on Square doing exactly what Shopify did on February 14th. Maybe I'm wrong, but it certainly is a possibility. Also, shout out to my good buddy Scott McKay, who made some glorious money on Shopify. Still making that money, actually, because he's in a really good put sale on this one. Next target on Shopify for me, $200.39. And of course, this would not be a stock review without a perfect gap and go on Tesla. Ladies and gentlemen, this gap was so nice. It's not even funny. Bearish gap and go. Everyone is trapped from yesterday. Gorgeous buying candle, and you all know that Tesla is a very nice, volatile, gap little machine. So here's the 5-minute chart, and I mean, if you had any question that this was going to continue lower, I mean, just check out that first 5-minute candle. It broke the pre-market like it was its job. It broke that pre-market support. Once it broke that support, it broke this support level, and it actually retested that support level, gave every single human on earth the perfect shooting star candle, and just rolled over. Oh, I mean, so much money has been made on Tesla and day trading just over the last few days. I mean, just some amazing moves on Tesla. I've been sending out some emails just about a lot of traders and their overall goals and accomplishments for the month of February. I mean, some really great stats in the month of February. It was some of the traders' most profitable month of all time. Your boy got almost 28 Rs in the month of February. My buddy Blake Anderson, who's a moderator in the trading room, he got over 22 Rs for the month. Bob got around 30 Rs for the month. You can see Victor there with 7. Lewis, who is actually here from the UK, well, I say here from the UK, he's trading with us in the UK. He made some of his first Rs on some trades just yesterday on Celgene. Mark Rockwood just absolutely just crushed in life in general. Some really, really phenomenal opportunities out there, ladies and gentlemen. I just love the community. I love the team of people. Thank you so much for being a part of Real Life Trading, and I hope you are all as excited about the March challenge as I am. I am fully 100% pumped up. Some great information coming out for you, tons of content. I hope you are ready to make magic, and until then, ladies and gentlemen, Love life, and trade it. I will see you all later. Bye.